Welcome, everybody, to the Single on Stiletto Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima, and I'm a life and love transformational coach and founder of Single in Stilettos. Today, we have a very special guest, Dwayna Welch, and she's the author of Love Factually 10 Proven Steps from I Wish to I Do. And today, we're talking about why do I attract men I don't want and repel men that I desire. But before we jump into it, Dwayna, I would love for you to tell our audience a little bit about you and what made you write this book.
Thank you so much for having me on again. I just love your audience and I enjoy being on this show so much, Suzanne. Basically, I wasn't very good at dating, and so that's putting it mildly. And I attracted men I didn't want and repelled the men I wanted. So I thought, what is up with this? But unlike most people, since I'm a social science geek, I decided to see if any of the sciences had addressed these questions. And in fact, they had. And so initially, I learned all of this for my own benefit, and it worked. And I started getting clients, and that turned into a blog and a book, and now a second book that comes out in January. And my whole shtick is, how does everyone, gay, straight, trans, cisgender, old, young, male, female, how does everyone leverage what we know factually to find the love of their lives and to keep that healthy relationship? So I did it, and just about anyone can. It's really not that hard.
Awesome. And I actually have had clients that have read your book and they said that they thought it was amazing. So this is great. So tell us the reasons why a woman can attract men she really doesn't want, and then repel the ones she really wants.
Well, the first answer, and I know this is kind of like hitting you over the head with a 2x4 with what's already obvious. But the first answer is, by definition, the vast majority of people we attract are not going to be right for us.
Oh, well, that's
true.
true.
we are all going to feel like, oh my God, I never attract the ones I want. Well, by definition, the ones you want are actually a pretty select group. So of course, most people aren't going to fit that. So that's just part of it, is a numbers game. And it's helpful to remind ourselves, I think, that just because it seems like you're attracting the wrong ones, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. This is the way it goes. I mean, by definition, how many people are you going to marry? Most of us really hope for a low number on that one. So
hopefully.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for a really low number, like one, maybe two, but hopefully one. So by definition, that's just the way it goes. But there is another reason, and that is that, as scientist Dr. David Buss puts it, attracting the right partner requires sending the right signals. And a lot of us are being told to send signals that work actively against our success.
Yeah, I can see that, because a lot of women that I work with complain about that. They're just like, I don't understand.
Yeah. So, for example, there's a really popular dating app right now, Bumble. I really admire the chutzpah and the skill of the woman, the business skill of the woman who's launched it. She's in Austin. She has super cute offices. She's got a real women's empowerment theme to her business, make the first move. And her whole shtick is, hey, we're women. We don't need to wait for a guy to make the first move anymore. We're empowered. We're equal with them in every way. And why not make the first move? But I will tell you that I have a lot of really prominent male clients on my client roster. And what they say is they love Bumble. You know why?
I know why. I guess because they don't have to do any of the work. Is that right?
Because the women are basically saying, I am sexually interested in you. So what they do is, when they're traveling around, they literally have told me this. When they're traveling around, they and their friends will wait for a woman to indicate interest, and then they'll just find the one they think is the hottest, and they're like, yeah, I'm totally having sex with her and dropping her.
Oh my God. This is like inside info.
Oh, yeah. So, and science agrees with that, by the way, not specifically on Bumble, but in a general way. Men see women's pursuit as an indicator of short-term sexual availability, and the men who like that are players.
That totally makes sense.
There have been studies by David Buss and David Schmidt. I call them the Davids. Starting in the 1990s and continuing right up until now, that show very clearly that no matter what the dating platform, men who are in short-term mating mode, and I should say almost all men have both a short-term and a long-term mating psychology. So do women.
Right.
There are circumstances under which we also will hit it and quit it. Not as many circumstances, but we have those circumstances. It's part of psychological adaptations that help the species to continue and specifically help a particular person's genetic line to continue. So we all have this in our evolutionary program thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But these are just evolutionary suggestions. They're not instincts. They're not things that we are compelled to do. Well, men admit very freely in studies from the 1990s right up until now that when women pursue them, what they hear is, I am sexually available to you, and please don't make a commitment to me because I'm sexually available to everyone. That's what they hear. So sending the right signals nets you the right man. And what are the right signals? I can tell you also from research done at major, huge dating sites that the signals that men respond to are, you're on the dating site, but you're not reaching out to the guy. He has to reach out first.
Ah, that makes sense. So wait for them to come to you, right?
Yeah. Men are anywhere between 6 and 11 times more likely to reach out in that first contact than women are. And in my experience, they never forget who reached out first. And your mileage may vary. I do have a woman that I helped write her profile. She was getting nowhere. In fact, I wrote her 2 profiles. I wrote her one, and then she showed all her friends. And her friends said, oh, don't post that. So she put up a profile that got her no traction at all. And then I reached out and said, it's really weird. That profile should have brought Mr. Right to you. And she said, oh, I didn't post that one. My friends didn't like it. Well, I'm not dating her friends. Like, her friends don't understand science-based mating psychology. So I said, okay, one more shot. I'll write a different profile. Please post this one, though. So we wrote another one, and it brought Mr. Right within a week.
A week?
Mm-hmm. She did reach out first, but he would never have seen her profile if she hadn't.
So can you share, I know this interview is too short to go into total detail, but what was the difference in her profile that you wrote and the one she had before? Like, what made a huge difference? Is there one thing?
Sure. So again, sending the right signals is really important. Women typically confuse hard to get with being bitchy and aloof. Mm-hmm. Or they just talk about themselves, which is a big dating mistake that both genders make. The best profiles talk about the person you're looking for, not about you. Because what's everyone's favorite topic? Them. Mm-hmm. So it gives them an opportunity, and men like a challenge. So it may be a questionnaire where if you get a certain points total, I'll answer you. It's a little bit of a challenge.
That's
like, it's
really
fun.
funny.
It uses the words fun, and it has the concept of fun, because men respond to cues of youth. Not every cue of youth is how you look. It's also how you act. Are you upbeat? Are you fun? Are you flirty? Are you lighthearted? Those are cues of someone who hasn't had the life ground out of them by hard experience. Youth.
Do you mean like a woman that's had her heart broken and puts on her profile, if you're this type of man, don't contact me?
Yeah, we don't like that either. Think of the thin and beautiful and kind of culturally iconic women that you know. And if they're dating online, like they're the total package, if they're dating online and a guy says no fats, they're never answering him.
That's true.
They're never answering him because he has a chip on his shoulder and he's a misogynist and a pig and he wants that. Right?
Yeah, that is true.
So if we do that, if we say, if you're poor, don't answer. Or if you don't have a bachelor's, don't answer. Well, we're being the female equivalent of that, are we not? Mr. Successful doesn't want your huge chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, that's true.
He wants signals that you're fun and lighthearted and available and open, that you're open and expecting goodness in your life. He wants that, and he wants that combined with, and by the way, I have enough going on that, you're going to have to reach out to me. Don't say that, just never reach out. And it's funny, my husband and I have a really interesting story that's along these lines. He has admitted in the recent past, like past couple years, we've been together almost 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm married almost that whole time also. And we're very happy together. And he's admitted that had I not blocked him, like for 30 days, I looked at his profile and he looked at mine and he didn't reach out. I didn't know he was telling everybody he knew that he wanted to reach out, but he was sure he was going to screw it up. All I knew was man not reaching out equals he's either doesn't have the confidence, which was the case, or he isn't that into me. And either way, look, life is going to throw a lot of hardship at you. It just is. And you need someone who has the strength of character to approach you, whatever the reason. It's required. So I blocked him on the dating site we were using, and that's when he realized, oh, she wasn't going to be around forever, and I just royally screwed up. But a day later, I brought him back. Now, that wasn't by design, although it certainly would be now if I had known the science on that. It wasn't by design that I blocked him, but when I brought him back, he immediately wrote to me, and he told me he would have spun stories about our happy future and done nothing forever if I hadn't blocked him. Men know what they want when it's gone. So, women, the key is you don't chase them, but when they approach you, you are super friendly. You thank them for everything they do that you like. You answer the phone with a smile in your voice. Tell them up front that you don't answer text messages. I've seen so many possible relationships derailed by reading too much into text messages and the woman being on an electronic leash and the guy feeling that she wasn't hard to get because she answered him right away every time. Texting is a horrible way to set up your relationship. In my next book, I go through it point by point. But just for now, just take my word for it. It's a terrible thing to do. It sends all the wrong signals.
It does. I totally agree. And I like how you said that, how to get them to call you. And I always share with my clients that from the very beginning of the dating stage, it's important to set that precedence then. Don't try and set it 3 or 4 months later because he's kind of wondering, wait, well, she was fine with it before. Why has everything changed? So set the precedent in the beginning.
He wants to know, just like you don't like to be left hanging and wondering, will he call Wednesday? Will he call? You don't want to know that. You don't want to be left hanging. He doesn't either. So you need to tell him from the start. And again, you can say anything as long as it's said nicely, kindly, and with a smile in your voice or on your email. You can say, thanks for asking for my number. I really, really do want to hear from you. I've got to tell you, I've found texting to just be the worst way to get to know people. So I don't text. If you text me, I won't answer, but I'm happy to get a call from you.
Aw, I love that. Well, these have been some great tips. So, Dwayna, tell us how people can find you and tell the ladies about your new book, because I'm super excited for you.
Thank you. Yes. So my whole deal is science-based relationship advice. And my first book is for everyone. My second book is for single parents and those dating them. So it's Love Factually for single parents and those dating them. And it's how to find the love of your life based on science, not opinion, no matter who you are, if you either already have kids and need the right person for them and yourself, or if you're dating somebody or interested in wondering what that's like to date someone who has children. And it comes out January 7th, 2019.
Awesome. So, ladies, go look for Dwayna's new book and get her old book because, like I said, I've had clients that have read her book and really, really loved it. So,
it's great. I get wedding invitations all the time. It's so great. And they can find that book at lovefactually.co, lovefactually.co. And the moment that we have the book jacket, which is coming right out for the new one, we'll have that posted at lovefactually.co also, and people can see a free chapter and pre-order it.
Awesome. So ladies, go get that book. So thanks everybody for joining us on the Single and Stiletto Show. Our show is available both in video format and podcast format. If you would like to view the videos, you can go to singleandstilettos.com. And if you would like to get the podcast, you can download it from iTunes. And if you would like to get our free video series, The Secrets About Men, you can just click here on the video or you can go to singleandstilettos.com.